Hi guys, welcome to Mahker. I'm Dave, for those of you that don't know me, and today I'm going to give you a walk around the Mahker workshop and what's been happening, so follow me. So, Project Margot, which is the Series 3, which is having a full restoration with a twist. Yesterday we fitted the mohair brown hood. This is probably the tightest hood we fitted. We haven't even adjusted the sides yet. Really impressed with that, so thanks to Kim at All Wheel Trim for making a cracking job of that. We're waiting on auto sparks now for a nice new loom, and I'm sure those of you will appreciate the galvanised components, which are nice and fresh. Fitted the glass last week, everything has been brand new. New bulkhead, new doors, new door tops, mirrors. We've gone with some billet Defender hinges. I know the purists out there don't like these, but this client wants it to be very functional. And of course here we've gone with an upgraded radiator from Alisport. As we've gone with now an upgraded engine, we thought it was only right to upgrade the cooling package. And because now we've gone with a P38 power steering pump, we're having to put the battery under the seat. So we've gone with a low profile Varley battery package. So it's all these parts to the puzzle that are going to make it work basically. For those of you that can't afford a Mahker Defender, I'm actually raffling one right now for just £30 a ticket. This one right here. So here's a chance for just £30, and there is a promo one. So if you type in Mahker Defender as a promo code, for every one ticket you buy, you get 2 free. How about that? I'm giving you £60 worth of tickets for free. So get buying, guys. There's only 50 of these promos available, so get them. So just a few things to talk about on Cagney. So the laser light bumper is getting wired up tomorrow. If you come around here, we've got a stainless steel Mahker steering guard. It's not just a steering guard. So if you look under here, you'll notice the oil cooler. This is rigged up to the 6-speed, 6 HP gearbox. So the air that passes through this cooler keeps this nice and cool and keeps the transfer box cool in order. If you come inside the wheel arch, you'll notice these are our 2.65 pre-runner shocks. These shocks are hands down the best shocks we've ever fitted to a Defender. They just work, and we've had them dialed in, test after all the R&D in Morocco last year. We've really got those right where we want them now. And then behind these lovely Evo Corsa wheels, we've got our AP brake package. We've gone with the black, let's say, inconspicuous caliper on this, so it's not in your face. You notice on the side here, this is new to us now. This is something we've developed. And this is a folding side step. So this is a very heavily branded side step that's used in America, on Jeeps especially. And we noticed there was a market for these in the UK. The client wanted side steps to help with his elderly mother getting in and out. So that's what we've given him. This is our 6mm, if you look here. These are our 6mm body coloured. Basically, design these to be, to follow the symmetry of the Defender and the lines, etc. So we've gone with those. That's those. Next job for this is to wriggle the air ride up and get that functioning, up and down, etc. So I'll just show you what we've been doing at the top. So Louis this week has been busy installing these seats. So we've gone with a contrasting seat belt to contrast the colour of the car, and I think it's a great combo against this chocolate leather interior. So we've gone with retractable belt buckles in the back, because I hate it when you hear like the buckles clacking around in the wind, etc., especially if you're going to have the sides open, which I know the customer will. So you can get 6 people comfortably in the back. I can sit in there, no problem. And if you check out the front, yesterday we dropped this seat in there. This is a Recaro Classic, and what I love about these Classics is plenty for the bigger gentlemen, and they are probably the comfiest seat I've ever sat in. And this is a lovely mod, and I'm famous for loving this. It's a BMW. Most BMs have it, Mercedes, etc. The lumbar support for your legs, what a fantastic thing. So you want to relax your left leg out, especially being an automatic. And this is the other thing that we've just come up with. Sat down with a CAD designer and we came up with this. So this is going to be made in billet with hard anodised in black, and it's got the 4 fixings below it. So this is allowing you to make your own custom tunnel, and these will be available very shortly. We basically wanted to help the DIY community out there with housing this shifter. I see so many Frankenstein leather conundrums that people come up with, and the idea is that you can put this inside an aluminium console or wooden console. We designed these with drinks holders, etc. The client wanted this to be simple. He wanted the inside to be sleek, didn't want cup holders, didn't want coin holders. So he's got his high-low here. We've done a cable shifter with that, really neat thing, forwards and backwards, diff lock, etc. And then this allows us to put the console, because it's electronic, we can put it wherever the client wants. We can angle it, bank it, put it down here, keep it next to the high and low stick. This one I think I'm going to put about here with a nice elbow pad to the left. And our friends at Ruskin trimmed these for us, and I tell you what, they made a fantastic job. I think Chalky did these, and hats off to you, mate. The smell and the aroma from the leather is perfect. So we've gone with something different on this front end. I sat down with the client and he wanted to have the classic look. He didn't like the ORE headlights, he didn't like the truck headlights, and he found these on the internet. Hats off, what a find. I love these. These are the Holly Classics. So these are American only. They do a right-hand drive and a left-hand drive variant, and these are going to be going on our website very shortly because, hands down, they're the best, I think, for a Defender.
Right.
So this is Project Black Panzer, owned by Rob, very good customer of ours, and been, I want to say, probably the longest customer of ours. He came to us, God, about 4 years ago and had some SMC wheels, and what you see here, some tyres, steering guard, Fox shocks, you know, the basics. And he always said to me, Dave, I want a new engine. So his Puma finally gave up, which I told him it would, and we're giving him, so it's going to be about 350 horsepower spec M57 with an AC upgrade, and on this one we've gone with an 8 HP 70. So it's the new 8-speed BMW that everyone is raving about, so we thought we'll give it a go. And of course it comes with slick gearbox changes, so it's meant to be really spot on. So keep posted to find out how this goes. What Louis doing now, he's putting the 8 HP 70 into the Defender. So we wanted to come up with a bolt-in package, so we can basically bolt the adapter direct to the Land Rover chassis. So as you see here, they're the 2 bolts that pick up on the top of the billet adapter. That drops on there using biscuit joints. This just wants a fine little tweak with a grinder, and basically the idea is this drops onto here, which makes a lovely solid mount. And then basically there, those of you in the Land Rover will recognise that. That is a 300 TDI transmission mount from an R380. So that picks up on there, plenty strong enough. Side to side action, it'll never come loose. It's got the locating dial, M12 nut in there. That basically lives like so, up onto the mount. And then this mount here, for those of you who also know Land Rover chassis, these are where you would have your 300 TDI, 200 TDI mount holes. So that lives inside the chassis. Bottom half of the mount lives inside there. And then this goes on there like so. All made out of 6mm, folded, heavy duty, good quality, high carbon steel. We MIG weld these and TIG weld these in-house. So if you want a kit, they will be available very soon for the DIYers out there. But as always, we're trialling these, we're making sure they're 100% tip-top before we open them to the public. So yeah, we've got some other goodies. So this is another one. So this is something we've been playing with. This is a billet are very well made. So this basically bolts onto the 8 HP top of the gearbox. Those of you who recognise, that's a Puma high-low diff lock shifter. There's your diff lock, this is your high and low. The idea is this bolts onto the top of the gearbox, no other messing about required, job done. These are not cheap, guys, but trust me, when you've spent hours and hours and hours trying to make it work and the linkages are 2 and 3 mil out, you'll buy one. So the mighty Unimog, lots of people have been asking for us to feature this. This vehicle kind of got put on the back burner because of other projects, you know, in order of priority to get out the door. So Pete's been back on this the last couple of weeks, and you see here, it's been piecing out rust. And as with anything old and the bodgers in the community that there is, they seem to like filler. So this was full of filler. And Paddy that owns this vehicle said to me, Dave, he said, just get all the filler out of it, make it look pretty, but he wants to retain some patina. As you see here, here, and places like you can see here where someone's been let loose with a grinder. It's just basically bringing it back to a standard where it'll last 10 to 20 years more. And we've had a few headaches, so we've got to make this thing from left-hand drive to right-hand drive. And if you look in here, you'll spot a P38 steering box. These steering boxes have been vastly used on adaptation and conversions, etc. The next mammoth job is to make a twin servo work in here that we normally use on the higher power ones with big calipers, etc. So because this vehicle is not its original chassis, we've got the job of making this body work to this GMC chassis that we're using. And then we're now tasked with some lights. So I thought, what better than to use some screw-in, military spec lights. So we don't want any LED fancy stuff on this. So we're thinking some nice brackets there in the corner, maybe some mud flaps to keep those trepidors from throwing stones up at the rear following people. Something like that. What do you think? So you'll notice there, these are the 2.65s that we run on nearly every big end build that we have in the workshop. So hopefully these will keep these axles under control. And we've got the big reservoir there that's going to live up here once we're finished doing what we're doing. So what you see here, this is an ATL bagged fuel tank. So this is actually Kevlar. So this came off a military vehicle, the GMC vehicle that we found at a local military scrapyard, believe it or not. So this tank is more than up to spec to go on this vehicle. So we've come up with a nice cradle. Pete's made this, filling it. So that's basically fill up here, drops down into the fuel tank. Simple system. Fuel sender, inlet, return, and a breather. Keeping it simple. And also we're going to add these. So those of you who recognise these are bonnet, basically pull downs from a series Land Rover. We're going to add those on there to keep the bonnet down, because where the catch lands is right where our monstrous cooling system is going to live. So, really cool, interesting project. It's been a pleasure doing it, but it's tedious in the same sentence. So, we're getting there, so stay tuned. So for those of you that followed me from the start on the YouTube channel, the saying used to be, it all started with a series in my dad's shed. It all started working on a series in my dad's shed, and now it's ended up with a series in my shed. So I bought a Series 3 about, God, when did it be? 3 months ago? And Series 3, 2.25 petrol, and I've decided to do a bit of a restoration, keep it as a little family heirloom thing, something that the kid can hand down to like my dad did with me. And so basically it's grown legs, like everything does in my life, all of a sudden. So this is going on to the back, obviously. It's having new doors, and I just want a big shout out to Ultra Bulkheads who supplied this tub for me. Fantastic quality, and he's actually coming over tomorrow because we had a small issue that we found, and he's coming over to help me find a resolution for it. So can't fault that for service. Fantastic guy. And there's a few little things that we like, so we're not going to stay simple with this. We're going to go with a side opening rear door. So this rear door will obviously hinge to the right, because those of you that know the Land Rover world, they're not easy things to get out of, especially when you're trying to get, let's say, somebody out with a skirt on, or there's no graceful entering unless you have a side opening door like so. So these, we will be selling these very soon. It's a really neat thing. So it's all about functionality in my ideal world. So Jacob's been putting the cappings on today, prepping these, prepping the holes, because we don't want to be drilling a brand new painted tub or risk scratching it. So we've put all the prep into these, and hopefully it's getting there. And this, I'm sure many of you can guess what it's for. So a lot of people put subs inside cubby boxes and you actually lose your space in the cubby box. I find it super frustrating because cubby boxes aren't the biggest anyway in Defenders, so we've come up with this. Those in the Land Rover world know what these notches are, know this shape. So this is actually going to live underneath the cubby box in that gap. You've probably got about that much room in between the seat box, so that's going to live at this angle, if you imagine on my left, under the cubby box. This is going to be full of dodo foam, so sound insulating foam if you like, so you get that nice deep thump. This is going to be sat on foam tape all around, so it can't resonate and vibrate. And I certainly recommend that if you buy one of these from me, these will be available in about 3 weeks' time. We've put them into production, and I think it'd be a great mod. Put the sump under the seat. You could even mount the amp in the seat box maybe. Keep it all nice and compact. There you have it. Louis going to fill it full of goo-goo. Thanks again for watching the channel. Really appreciate your comments, and please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And please share to your friends and help us grow this channel. Thanks again.